Train, Study, Work, Repeat. The Lunex Unfiltered podcast on balancing sports, studies, and internships.
Welcome to the Lunex podcast, Train, Study, Work, Repeat. I'm Matthew Weken, Professor of Sport Management at Lunex. I have a special guest today, Patrizia van der Weken. Patrizia, you are the face of athletics in Luxembourg. You are the national record holder in 60, 100, and 200 meters. You have won the Paris Diamond League meeting and are World University Games champion in 100 meters. At 24 years old, almost 25 years old, it's very impressive. So let's go back to the 2nd of August in Paris. You entered your first race at the Paris Olympics. The stadium is packed. You have Richardson in your race to qualify for the semi-final. So can you go back in what's in your mind at that moment in time?
Yeah, first of all, hello. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast. Yeah, talking about the Olympics, everything was super special. For sure, I mean, it's the biggest competition you can do as an athlete, basically. Everything's been incredible. Of course, there's been a lot of pressure too. But yeah, I was really happy to be able to qualify straight away into the semi-finals. I mean, that was the main aim we had. And if I would not have succeeded, that would have been quite a disappointment too.
For sure, I think everybody was very proud of you here in Luxembourg and all your friends as well. Can you tell us a little bit how you prepare yourself for a big race like this? Do you have a routine, a mindset?
Well, when I'm at the start line, I know that I have done everything possible because I've been preparing for a year. Like, we only cut 3 weeks a year. So we have been putting in the work, and I know that, and I know that I'm ready to perform and I'm ready to do a good competition. So I don't ask many questions to myself. So I just try to have a good day, be in a good mood, warm up properly, and then I'm all good to go. And
in Paris, how was the crowd? How people cheering for you, your friends, your family, trainer, and so on? How did you feel that at that moment? Was it helping you to get better, or? Yeah, well,
I've been noticing a lot of support, even at home, like the weeks leading up to Paris as well. Like, there was so much more media attention than I'm used to. So that was kind of new. But then again, like Kozo and my coach, they did a really good job at filtering already all the media attention, interviews, just reactions. So they helped me with that, so I wouldn't go crazy a couple of days before the Olympics. And then, like the stadium was full. Well, almost full. There were so many people cheering, screaming and jumping. That was a really nice experience. And also when I walked in, I saw a couple of Luxembourgish flags. I knew that my parents were in the stands and a couple of my training partners, my coach, obviously, the whole team who was still there and wasn't competing themselves. So it was a really nice moment and a really nice experience. And I really I'm happy that so many people either traveled there or were in front of their TVs screaming and jumping when I was competing.
To give you a nice boost, definitely. Let's go further back at the beginning in a way. So Patrizia, can you tell us how you first got into athletics and sprinting in particular? What drove you to athletics?
My parents actually brought me to my local club where I'm still registered at. And then it all started with like being happy to go see my friends, having fun at the track and moving a bit. I was always a very energetic kid, so my parents were happy to like get away with me for a couple of hours a week. So I did that and I was quite successful at it. So I decided that I wanted to do something different than all the other children in my school or my village. So I went to the high school that's like Sportlycée, which is an institution to help people do both sports in school. So I did that, went to boarding school, and then I stuck with it the entire time. And then I was looking at my future and I wanted to continue to train a lot and hopefully reach the highest level, which is qualify for the Olympics. And that's when I decided to register at Lunex and do my studies here, because it was clear for me that I wanted to do something besides sports and have a degree for my after track career. So I think I did a good choice there.
Certainly. And let's go back to how you were pushed and towards the Olympics. So you mentioned about your parents, your friends, and so on. So is there someone in particular or a role model that inspired you to push yourself to reach this level, to this international level?
Yeah, I mean, my parents have always been supportive. They like sports. They have done sports themselves or still do. So that definitely helped. And then later I was just in that mindset of going to school and then straight to training, do a little bit of studying, go to school, training again. So I just got stuck in that movement, I guess. And then I've been seeing all over social media, like everyone else, people who do crazy things at trainings or competitions. And I just wanted to be like that. And then also my coach plays a huge role in that as well, because he's been there all the way, and he's been pushing me and also my training group for us to become the best version of ourselves, basically. That's something I really like, and I want to be, sounds a bit weird, but I want to be the best athlete I can be. So I want to push my limits and see how far I can go with that little sport.
So you have still some limits that you have to reach. So, I mean, can you go over and over again? Can you push yourself further, you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have no choice. I was 4th at Europeans. No one wants to be 4th.
So soon the podium?
That's the biggest goal, to medal at some championship.
So do you think this barrier of 11 seconds, you think that you can break it? Have you broke it already?
No, my PB is 11:00 at Europeans. But I think I can go way faster. I think I've proven that in my summer season. I've been racing a lot of 11:00s, basically in all conditions, also with a lot of headwind, which is never good. I think if in those races the wind would have been better, I think I would have gone under 11, but that's always easy to say. So I still need to show people that I can, and myself, obviously, that I can do it. And if I want to medal, I need to go fast. So I have no choice but to go under those 11 seconds.
I'm sure you'll be able to achieve that soon. So looking at the athletes now that you compete against or that you meet regularly, is there anyone that you find more inspiring, that you want to follow the path? Is there somebody there that you admire for their performance or their lifestyle or who they are? Is it somebody, and why would you admire those other athletes eventually?
There are certainly athletes that are very inspiring because they've been through their own journeys. Some of them have children even, so it's nice to see that you can combine sports with a lot of things. It's definitely very hard, and you need a strong commitment and a good time management to do so. But I think if you look at the best athlete in the world, everyone is special in their own way. So I think you can find something inspiring with everyone. But what I like the most in Europe in particular, that a lot of athletes at the top at the moment are really nice people, and I get along with them well, and we can chat about stuff outside of track too. So that's really nice. I really like the connection we are kind of building. So you travel to competitions and you run against them, obviously, but you can still be friends with them. So the atmosphere is better, friendly and interesting. So that's something I like.
So the hugging at the end of a race is real. I mean, it's not fake.
No, it's not fake. At least not with everyone. Mostly in Europe, I know all the girls and we get along well. That's kind of nice. And I'm sincerely happy if someone does a PB or breaks the national record or something. They've been training for that for months or years. So I'm happy for them.
So when we see yourself at the Olympics, of course, it was a great achievement. But when did you realize that you were able to achieve this goal of getting into the Olympics? At one moment in your career, 1 year, 2 years ago, 2020 eventually, when did you realize that you could actually make it as an Olympian?
Well, I qualified already a year in advance. So I qualified, I think, second day when the qualification period started. So that was a huge relief. So I had 1 entire year to prepare myself for that huge event. So that was something that really helped. But then I think it clicked already maybe 2 years ago when I really started to drop my times, because I've been not struggling, but I've been running consistently well, but not good enough to go to the Olympics. And then I improved a huge chunk And that's when I told myself, oh, okay. I mean, you have quite the future in this sport. And then I just continued to become better at mostly everything I do at training. And then I saw a lot of progress also in the weight room and at tests. My jumps got better. So that was kind of, a click in my brain that I could actually make it to the Olympics and call myself an Olympian.
Amazing, yeah. About your training, it asks a lot of dedication, of course, to reach such kind of level. Can you walk us through a typical day in your training program? So how do you balance strength, speed, recovery? What's your typical day of Patrizia van der Weken, the face of athletics in Luxembourg?
Well, it depends on the day of the week, but let's say on Monday, I get up around 8, have breakfast, and then I grab all my things I need for training, drive to my facility. And then we usually do a speed session in the morning. So it's all about speed. It's very intense as a session. So usually after your nervous system is a little down. So then we do cryotherapy for recovery. It's supposed to help calm down the nervous system after an intense effort. Then usually we have lunch, take a nap, and then have weights for about 3 hours. And Mondays are really tough, really, really tough. So we do maximal strength at the gym. So that's very intense as well. And then after I usually see my physio or get a massage or something, and then I fall into my bed like a dead person.
Early.
Yes, very early.
To get back to the next day and again and again. And
yeah.
A lot of dedication. So you talk about your training day as a normal day, and during the Olympics, was it anything different?
Yeah, that's a training day in a pre-season. So when I start my competitions, we do less. So our bodies have more time to recover and be ready for the competition. During the Olympics, I wasn't training that much anymore. I went there for the opening ceremony, and then I went back home to do my training at my usual facilities. And then I went back, I think, 3 days before. So I did one weight session, one session on the track, but it was more of a pre-meet. So only a warm-up, couple of ones, and then I'm done. And then it was already race day. So there's not a lot going on anymore that late in the season. So that's usually what I prefer. Not training and competing a lot.
Yeah, focusing on the competition, the races, and competing against others as well, and see where you are. I guess. Yeah. And talking about challenges, what was one of the biggest challenges that you faced in your sprinting career, and how did you overcome this challenge?
I must say I've been very lucky. Everything with injuries, I haven't had that many problems. Obviously, I do have some niggles all the time, but that usually goes away almost as quickly as it appears. I have a good medical staff around me who make sure that my body's somewhat healthy. So that's been not that big of a struggle. I think what's complicated for me sometimes mentally, I tend to have some barriers which do not make any sense. And then I have to understand that it does not make any sense, and then I can overcome them easily. So that's sometimes something I struggle with. But then again, my coach just throws me into cold water, and then I have to figure it out. And usually he's right. So that helps a lot.
You have a mental coach, or is your trainer your mental coach as well?
No, at the moment. At the moment I'm not working with a mental coach. My track and gym and everything coach does that for the moment. And it's been working well, so we'll see if we make any adjustments in the future. But I think I've gained so much experience at the competitions that I mostly can figure out how I need to approach things. But then I'm not a professional, and sometimes I'm a bit lost, so I need someone to guide me, and that's mostly my coach.
And you talked a little bit earlier about Luxembourg support. So how would you describe the athletic scene in Luxembourg, and do you feel that it has been supported of your development as an athlete here in Luxembourg?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my federation has always been super supportive in my whole career, if I can call it like that. If I've had any sort of question or hesitation problem, I could always just text or call them, and then we would figure something out. That's been definitely very helpful. And then it's quite familiar too, since it's not a huge federation. I know everyone who works there quite well. So that's definitely a plus that we are in good contact.
And the public as well, as you competing at the CMCM meeting as well in the past. And this is the Luxembourgish public in a way. And do you feel that, they're supporting, cheering you, they're knowing you, and you go in the streets, there are people recognizing you, for example? Is it like this?
It happens more and more often that people just randomly call my name in the street and want to take a picture, which is very weird for me since I'm not used to that at all and I don't see myself as a, public figure or something. But it's always nice. I mean, I'm happy if I can inspire people or motivate children or teenagers to maybe try out athletics or some other sport or just continue moving or in some way, maybe even education. I don't know. I'm always happy if I can bring something positive to society or people in general.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely, I think you're a role model for athletics. You might not realize it, but it is true. It is true. So we're very happy to have you here in Luxembourg and competing. And you have a very impressive career, sporting career already. And at the same time, you have a bachelor in international sport management, and you are studying to obtain a master in sport management and digitalization at LUNEX. So I remember a few years ago when we first met here at LUNEX during an open door day. I don't know if you remember it. So a while back, looking at your choice at the time, what drew you to study sport management at LUNEX? Why sport management? Why at LUNEX?
I wanted to stay in Luxembourg to pursue my training because I did not want to change coaches. I didn't want to go away from Luxembourg. So I looked at my options and I was interested in doing something with sports since basically all my life is about sports. And then I thought it was quite interesting and kind of bored as well since you can maybe apply it in other domains if by any chance I might want to do something else later. I still have a degree that's interesting to use later on. So that was definitely a positive point that drew me to LUNEX.
And has studying sport management changed the way you see athletics, or you see your career in athletics or the sport industry as the whole? Did it open your eyes to something?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do some of my my management chores as an athlete myself. Obviously, I have an agent for everything that's competitions. But then here in Luxembourg, I need to organize myself financially and also maybe with sponsors and all that type of stuff. So it definitely helped me to have a better understanding of the sports industry in general, not only about athletics, but about other sports or domains. So that definitely helped me to better understand how to market myself and how to handle different situations. So that's for sure. Also, I remember that's later in the master, we did digital skills. So that has definitely been helpful as well in today's society where social media is very important.
So did you apply some of those skills to
definitely
your brand in a way? Because
I have never done anything like that before, so it was interesting to get some broader knowledge about so much stuff. Yeah.
So you are building your social media profile as well, and with some insight from the class eventually in digital marketing and so on. So what are the things that you do right now in your social media profile that you believe that you picked up from classes eventually, or from experts or lecturers that taught you?
I am not very professional with my socials at the moment, but if I post something, I know a little bit how to organize that and how to cut videos or do my captions. So that has definitely helped me. But also we did a lot of marketing classes. So it's all been very helpful, even though I might not always use it. But I know that if I wanted to, I could potentially grow that space. And that's interesting to know for the future, even though I might not use it for me personally, but I don't know what I will do in a couple of years. So it's always good to know that I have some skills that I might be able to use in order to help myself, a brand, or I don't know, something I will work for later.
Of course, you have studied bachelor not so long time ago. You're studying a master now. It's difficult to do this dual career, sporting career, academic career as well, or academic achievement. So how did you balance both. So look back at your bachelor when it's 3 years degree here at Linux, and you're competing, you're developing as an athlete. At the same time, you have to get this degree. Now you're doing the same in the master. So are you able to balance the demands of being a high level athlete and with your studies?
Yeah, so in the bachelor's, it was a little bit easier for me since I just came out of high school. I was used to working a lot for my academic career and training. So that was not something so different to before. And then I was at a good level, but I was not at the level I am now regarding my sports career. So I really knew that I wanted to do my degree, and then after would have like all the time to do my track career at 100% or almost 100%. So I was really committed to do those 3 years like everyone else. And so yeah, that was kind of a struggle at some points because I had my deadlines, I had my competitions, but then I mean, if the time management's fine, then everything can work out. And if I realized, oh, okay, no, I'm not going to be able to do all the workload, I could still try to find a solution with my teachers to maybe postpone a deadline for a couple of weeks, and then everything worked out perfectly fine. So I was able to combine everything at the same time. And then, yeah, when we had classes, then I had to sometimes adapt my training, but then it's just what it was. So that worked out quite well, honestly, yeah. And then now for my master's, I've decided to go almost 100% on my track career. So I am not advancing as quickly as I would maybe like to with my academics, but I think going to the Olympics was pretty much a good excuse to do
a good one.
to do a little bit less. But I'm trying to be more consistent now again since the Olympic year is almost over, and I want to go a little bit back to normal and try to advance a little bit quicker than I've been like this year now.
So you could say that Linux offered you some flexibility in being able to pursue your sporting dream or your athletics dream, and at the same time follow your academic degree.
Yeah, definitely. There's never been any type of problem regarding deadlines of assignments or classes. So no, Linux has always been very flexible for me to try and balance both as good as I could.
So what advice would you give to other athletes who would like to do a dual career like that? What kind of insight could you give them to how to balance their life between sporting achievement and academic career?
At least what helped me was that at times where I knew that my sports career would be a little bit less, I would work a little bit more for my studies, and then vice versa. So when I was in off season, I would use that time to do a little bit more for my assignments or exam preparation or something related to my studies. And then when I was at competitions, I would do a little bit less of that and focus a little bit more on my running. So that definitely helped me a lot to balance and then do more or less at some points in the semester or the year in general. So that definitely helped. And then time management is important too. So I always had outlined in a huge calendar all my periods where I had to be away for training camps or competitions, and then also my deadlines. I had I still do, one huge spreadsheet where I want to try and focus on one thing or the other. So that really helped me to have a general overview of what's ahead, basically.
Yeah, very well organized.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was very good organized in my bachelor's. Now, a little bit less regarding studies, but I'm still trying to turn that around.
It's understandable, of course, but very well organized. That certainly help you to move forward and fill the gaps with studying. And talking about studies is one thing, and after the studies, do you see yourself working in management size in sport, or is there any particular role that you would like to pursue with a degree like this?
That's difficult to say since I'm not planning on working in an office or a corporate job anytime soon, since I'll be doing my sports career. But then after it, obviously, I'm not too sure yet. I want to do something in the sports industry since I think that I've gained a lot of experience by traveling, competing a lot abroad. And I think I can help people, athletes in some kind of domains. So I don't really know. Maybe something in that direction, to be in touch with maybe athletes or more behind the scenes. I don't really know yet.
But probably too soon. You just have to focus on your sporting career first, and then you'll figure out afterwards.
It's a little too soon, but I hope that I can find something in that domain that I can have some kind of impact in the sports industry here in Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm. In Luxembourg, then you know, in the future, and which might be 10 years eventually. So you want to give back to Luxembourg, to sporting environment, to give it back to what you receive as well as support and from Federation, Olympic Committee, and Ministry of Sport, and so on. So you want to give back to them.
Definitely. I think I want to stay active in Luxembourg and give back of things I've learned and experience that I've gained in my time as an athlete. Since I've been receiving so much support from a lot of institutions here, so I think it's only fair to help them out later.
And talking about again your sprinting and what we can learn from sport, so what life lessons has sprinting taught you that you think are valuable beyond track?
Oh, so much. I've grown so much as a person due to my athletic journey. I don't really know if I can find some examples, but it's been helping me in all kind of domains. So I have learned how to assess a situation and really take my time to find a solution and not stress about things that are not worth stressing about. So, and then also I've been a lot alone traveling, so I have to figure things out by myself, and I need to trust into my own abilities to find solutions in no matter what type of situation that I have to find some way out of. So definitely that. And then also maybe my communication skills. I have to talk to people that I don't know. I don't have to, but I want to communicate with people and make friends and grow as a person basically. So that has thrown me into the cold water quite a lot. Also dealing with injuries is never easy, or setbacks is never easy. Or you have to think big if you want to achieve certain goals. And you have to be a little delusional. And I've learned that a little delusion can take you a long way. And you really need to believe in your own abilities and what you can achieve in order to later really do something great. And that has taken me out of my little box I was in. So it might seem a little weird, but I do see things different due to track. I guess that sums it up quite well. So I really like the delusion part.
Very interesting. You can see problem solving, autonomy, time management, resilience as well. So many things that you learn from the track that you can also apply in life in general. So what are some of the major goals that you're working towards now? So what do you hope to achieve in the next few years?
First of all, I just want to be the best athlete I can be and go as fast as I can and eventually make people proud around me. I think I've been achieving that, but I want more. Obviously, as an elite athlete, you always want more. You're never sufficiently happy with where you are at. So you always want to reach the next step, which can be dangerous, by the way, but still, you need to dream big and aim for high things. So I definitely want to medal at the senior level. I have yet failed to do so, but I think I'm on the right path to do so. So I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years, the next couple of championships. And then I hope that I will maybe be a little bit higher than fourth in the list. Mm-hmm. And then we shall see how everything continues. I mean, anything can happen in both ways, success and failure, or injuries, or any type of struggles. So I hope that I can remain on my little green path for a couple more years.
So more for you, and the next level for you would be getting a medals at the European Championship. This is the goal for the next few years. So at the next European Championship, where would that be? The next Europeans?
We have European indoors, this winter in the Netherlands. Then 60s are very short, so that's kind of a challenge. But we'll see. I am up for a challenge.
So if you had to choose between the 60 meters and the 100 meters, a medal, which one would you choose?
100 meters.
100 meters outdoors, of course.
Yes. I feel like that's the event in the sprint event. But yeah, I'll be doing a little more 200s as well, starting from next year, 2025. And then we'll see how that will go. And then also I want maybe try to qualify myself for World Finals. I failed to do so too. So I have a lot that I can try to change and get better and hopefully access those super fast girls in the world.
So you're going to compete in 60, 100 and 200 meters. Are you really focusing on the 100 meters, or at some point in the future do you think we could see yourself as well in 200 meters in competitions?
Yeah, indoors I will stick to 60s. I will do probably a couple of 200s, but just to test new things that my coach wants to try. So I'll be doing that then. And then outdoors, I will still focus on the 100s for now. And then I will just try to incorporate a little more 200 meter running, since my coach and I are crazy and we want to have it all. No, I'm joking. But we want to see how fast I can go on the 200 as well. I have not done that so far, so we'll see how that's...
national record holder for 200 meters as well.
Yes, but I've never really trained for that. So it's kind of different. I am up for a challenge, so we will try to incorporate that as good as I can, and maybe I can try to double up at championships as well in the future.
Yeah, we wish you the best for the future, definitely. So thank you, Patrizia, for such an insightful and inspiring conversation. We are really excited to continue following you on your journey, and we can't wait to see all of your future achievements.
Thank you for having me.
So it was Lunex's podcast, Train, Study, Work, Repeat. Thank you for listening.